Okay, so today we're going to talk about relaxation as one of the techniques for peak performance. And I have to say, this is definitely one of my favorite topics, but I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about that at the end of my presentation. So, why relaxation for peak performance? Well, what do we know what it means to be an athlete? Basically, we know that's a lot of pressure. Because there's always that one moment where you have to perform at your best in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So, what does that mean? For you guys are all soccer players, and so, you have a situation, you're on the field, somebody passes you a ball, and you got to make the shot. You got to make a goal. And that is the one moment where you want to perform at your highest level. And it's hard because there's a lot of pressure on you, right? And, there's also that sense that there's expectations, from yourself, which is that you want to win, that you want to perform at your best. There's also expectations possibly from your teammates, and your coaches, your family, your friends, and the fans, right? So there's this great amount of pressure that you feel as an athlete because you're always wanting to perform at a higher level. Um, and we know when we perform at higher levels, we can reach what we call peak performance. So what is peak performance? There what we know from studies and a lot of research is that there are four components to peak performance, and those include commitment, which is your training, which is you mastering your skill in your sport. The other one is composure, which is your ability to make decisions right at that moment. That guy's passing you a shot, right? You got to make a decision. Am I going to go down the middle? Am I going to go to the right or to the left? Then there is concentration. So obviously that pertains to your focus, your ability to focus at that moment, to, you know, um, get the distractions out, just not pay attention to anything that's going on except for that shot. And then there is your confidence, which is how you feel, the ability to meet the task. And the task at hand is that either you got to make that shot or you got to make a great pass, or you got to get out of a situation where there's a lot of players around you and you got to kick the ball out, and you got to have the confidence to be able to do that. So those are the four components of peak performance. And we're all human. We have this pressure on us. And so there are times where we're not going to feel that. We're not going to feel that sense of great confidence or composure, the ability to make decisions. We're not going to have all those four components. However, we do have the ability to use these techniques to enhance or improve the ability to control those emotions, to be able to control your decision making skills, to be able to control your focus and how you feel about yourself, and also your motivation. So today we're going to talk about two techniques that we can use for relaxation. And one of those is breathing. Now, what do we know about breathing? So what happens? So basically, what happens to your body when you're under a lot of pressure and you feel a lot of stress and anxiety, or you just feel intensified feelings? So what happens? Well, your body is made up of all these sensory receptors, and when you get stressed, they just start sending out all these messages, and they increase your adrenaline, they increase your cortisol levels, and that basically sends more messages that either you gotta fight or flight, you gotta do something, right? And so your heart rate increases, you begin to sweat more, your respiratory goes up, and it also increases your thinking. So now all of a sudden it's just kind of like, how do I get out of it? What do I do? How do I make it better, right? With breathing, what they've shown is it actually, when you take that deep breath and you slow down your breathing, it begins to regulate those systems, right? So it begins to regulate your cortisol levels. It begins to regulate your breathing. And so it enables you to concentrate. It enables you to become better at making decisions. And then it also enables you to feel what you feel normally, which is a sense of confidence. Okay? So, with the breathing techniques, I just want to say before I kind of get into an exercise that we're going to do with breathing, is that there's, besides practicing it every day, which is something that I highly recommend that you do, and I'll teach you one of the techniques that I know, but I really believe that yoga is a great way to learn how to begin to focus on your breath. Because when you're in these yoga poses, every time you do a pose or move from one pose to another, they talk about inhalation and exhalation. So you're really concentrating on the breath. And I just find this to be a really good teaching method for learning how to breathe, okay? Now, I'm going to talk about circle breath. So this is one of the techniques that I'm going to teach you guys today, and then I've created a handout and I'll give that to you later. But this is a technique, and I think it's really, really simple. It's something that you can use anywhere, anytime, and it's something that I actually use often. I practice it on a daily basis. So just for right now, what I want you to do is I want you to just stand or sit, get relaxed, and then now all of a sudden you're going to become focused on the breath, okay? And the first thing that you're going to do, and keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. This is actually really important. You don't want to be all tense when you're doing the circle breath. You really want to keep everything nice and relaxed. And you're going to think about an inhalation through the nose. You're going to hold that inhalation, and then you're going to exhale through the mouth, okay? So basically what it looks like is you're going to inhale, hold the breath, exhale through the mouth. And when you do that, you can feel it in your stomach. You can hold it in, you can also hold your hand against your chest where you can really feel the breath come out and you feel like your stomach expand. So that's a good way of knowing that you're really letting that exhale out. So let's try that again. So we're going to inhale, hold, and then we're going to exhale. So inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale. And we can do that right now. So, ready? And letting the breath out. So, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to repeat that 5 to 6 times. That's really simple, right? Just 5 to 6 times. And that actually it's so impactful on how to calm your nervous system down. And that's really what, the whole breathing, all the different breathing techniques is just a way to calm your nervous system down. So again, kind of reiterate, the 4 components of peak performance is your commitment, your composure, your confidence, and your concentration. And when those are aligned, you have that ability to perform at a higher level. No guarantees, but you definitely have the ability. You take back the control, basically, when you're incorporating these techniques into your training. So you're doing a mental skills training. And that's one way to just find the relaxation. And you can do that at least once a day, if not twice a day. I actually probably practice the circle breath maybe 3 times a day, and it really has become quite effective in my life. So another form of relaxation is meditation. I think a lot of people have some interesting, like, preconceived ideas about meditation, and there's probably a lot of this idea about, the gurus sitting cross-legged with their hands up and their little, positions, and that, you have to get to this Zen state. And that's not what meditation is. Meditation is really reducing the noise from your head so that you can get kind of more in tune with your body. Okay? Let me say that again. Meditation is not about zenning out. It's really about quieting the mind so that you are able to get more in touch with your body. And there are, just like breathing, many different techniques. There are many ways of meditating. I love this picture of the Boston Celtics laying down and beginning their meditation, because it's showing you that more and more athletes are combining not only their physical training, but also their mental training, and they're utilizing these techniques in their training to create, like we said, like a better performance. So you don't have to do it alone, okay? There's two things that you can do with meditation. One is you can do it with your team. You guys can create a time where you guys do it as a team, maybe before practice, or, sometime even after practice, that you guys can get together for 5 minutes and work on that training. The other thing I would suggest about meditation is that there's a lot of great apps on iPhone with meditations, and some of them are 5 to 10 minutes long. There's also YouTube videos that have meditation, and these really help you learn, the process of meditating, about focusing on the breath, getting relaxed, getting into just more of a relaxed state, and that's really all you're looking for in meditation. Another form of meditation, which is so powerful, it's crazy powerful, is imagery. So I put up this picture of LeBron James because I read an article that he uses imagery for basketball. And as you know, he's, MVP. He was MVP this year. He's an amazing basketball player, and he utilizes imagery. So what that is that when you're meditating, you then begin to see yourself in the situation, in any given situation. For example, for you guys, you can actually visualize, somebody passing the ball to you, you seeing the ball, you seeing the goal, you're seeing yourself kick the ball into the goal. You see all of these images. And this is the crazy thing, is that they have found that the mind actually doesn't differentiate between an imagined image and reality. Okay, so what happens is you do this visualization and you go through the whole process, you feel all of it, you're using all of your senses, okay, and the mind is seeing it. And then when it gets to that place of being in that scenario, then what happens is that the mind's like, oh, well, I've been here before. I've already done this. I've seen that guy, I see my teammate kick me the ball, so what it creates is a sense of confidence. Well, I've already been there. I know how to do this. They kick me the ball, they pass me the ball, I kick the ball, it's really simple. There's the goal. And so, like I said, the mind doesn't know the difference between this imagined image that you have and your reality. And it creates a sense of calm. It's like, I already know how to do that. So the benefits are amazing. And again, I'll get into that at the very end of my presentation. So another way of meditating, even on the court. I seriously doubt that, obviously people are going to sit down on a tennis court and start meditating, but you actually can. Just as probably LeBron James is sitting there, in his chair at that moment, he's probably taking a moment to just focus on the breath and get relaxed. And that's meditation. I mean, that's really, it's like super simple. The hard part is just doing it, you know, and again, it's like adding that to your practice. And sometimes people feel overwhelmed by that. But I gotta tell you, the benefits, again, are unprecedented, because what you're doing is that you're actually taking control of your again, your motivation. You're taking control of your confidence level. You're taking control of your ability to concentrate. You're taking control over your ability to make decisions, because you are giving yourself tools. It's like tools in a toolkit, basically, right? Tools are tools on a tool belt. And you're enabling yourself to slow things down. You're enabling yourself to find that concentration that you need in order to meet the task at hand, okay? And so how do we meditate? Well, as I said before, it's very, very simple, okay? What you're gonna wanna do is probably do the circle breath. Say you do that 5 to 6 times. Usually you're gonna wanna be in a seated position. You don't have to sit like the lady in the, you know, in the boxing facility, but sit down. You're probably gonna wanna sit in a more comfortable chair, and then you're just gonna become relaxed, okay? And you're gonna not think, actually, if you do think, label that thinking, because that just is gonna get you focused again on the breath, and you're just focusing on the breath. So these tools are the ones that can really give you that, you know, upper edge towards a peak performance. As I said before, that peak performance is commitment, composure, confidence, and concentration. And these tools are going to allow you to get to those places and have control over them, which is phenomenal. So I'm just going to end and tell you a little bit about why this is my favorite topic. I hate public speaking. It's really hard for me. I get very anxious. And I have been, for the last couple weeks, really using the breathing techniques. And I have been using the meditation and the visualization. And it has given me just more confidence than I had initially. And I feel like I've really kind of worked through the whole thing, and, you know, have had the ability to show up today and give you this presentation. And so thanks guys for being here, and that's it.